Hello, hello everyone. I'm just doing my weekly update for the weeks that I can do them, and just updating everybody. And I've been talking about being a type 1 diabetic and a pregnant one, and what that means and what that's like, and things that I've um, given some folks hope about having children of their own, which, is really great. I'd say to all the folks who have any chronic disorders or diseases, who are type 1 diabetics and such, that you get into your doctor as soon as possible. If you're thinking about having a baby and you start talking about what you need to do to prep for the child, it is much better to be prepared and know what you're getting into than to all of a sudden have it happen and then be thrown in the middle of it and have a hard time adjusting and stuff. It's so much better because we'd gone to the doctor previous to kind of all this happening and everything. So it was an easy transition. So the pregnancy's going fine so far, so good. Um, what's been happening over the last couple of weeks is me trying to figure out how to adjust my insulin. And for those of you who are not diabetics, many diabetics adjust their insulin for what they're going to eat. And usually not what's called a basal insulin, which is kind of a insulin that just sort of stays the same for long periods of time. And some of them have a peak, some of them don't. The one I take doesn't. It just sort of stays at the base, so there's something always sort of working in there all the time. And then I have what's called a short-acting insulin that works on all the food and really the carbs that I eat and stuff. And so we've been trying to adjust these to try to get me within the ranges I need to be in. It's been a heck of a ride. I mean, type 1 diabetes and the wackiness that goes with being a type 1 diabetic, and especially one who's been one as long as I have, can be sort of daunting. Now, I'm used to this. I'm used to all this sort of stuff, and trying to figure out, well, how do you get the blood sugars down? How do you make sure you don't have them too low? How do you make sure you don't have them too high? Now, my ranges need to be somewhere in between 90 and 120. That's a really, really, really small window. And because I'm a type 1 diabetic, just in the real sense of the word, that probably won't ever happen. I won't be that perfect all the time. There will be times that will be really good, but it just won't happen. I'm a type 1 diabetic. Unless I'm cured of diabetes, that won't happen for me. So I try to do the best I can and stuff. And sometimes it makes me nervous if I have a really high blood sugar or if I have a really low blood sugar and stuff, because if it's too low, that means the baby's not getting what it needs. If it's too high, that means the baby's getting too much. And unlike you and me, as my doctor explained to me, and I was glad he did. Unlike you and me, my baby lives off of glucose. That's the energy that it takes to kind of grow and do the stuff. That's it. That's all it has. And so when my glucose is really high, when it's over 120, when it's 150, when it's 180, when it's 200, when it's 250, the baby just takes all of that. Whatever extra is in there, it takes. And so when women have type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes or gestational diabetes during their pregnancies, and they have all these high blood sugars, and then they get these really, really big babies, it's because the baby has been using glucose, and all that extra glucose they have, the child takes and stuff, and they use it, to grow themselves and for energy. And so you get this really gigantic baby and stuff, and you also get a child that's probably at risk of getting diabetes itself. So my thing is to try to give the baby just enough glucose, and stuff, and that it can grow and do what it needs to do without having too much, without, having over glucose. Now, me, I can use anything for energy. As regular people, we can use anything, any old junk we want. I can use carbs. I can use, I use fat, sugar, protein, glucose, whatever. I use whatever. I use it all, and stuff. But this baby can only use glucose and stuff. And so right now we're trying to get that. Well, it's sort of going back and forth. It's not the easiest task in the world, you know. right now, what's happening is at the end, usually at the end of a type 1 diabetic's first trimester, for some reasons, our bodies start really processing insulin really efficiently, more efficiently than we ever have. And because we do, we have a lot of low blood sugars and stuff. And so we have to figure out how to go down on insulin. And by the time the second trimester starts, I'll go back up on insulin and keep going up until the end of the pregnancy and stuff. But right now, we're trying to adjust this because I've been having a lot of lows, and low blood sugars give me migraine headaches. So I've been having some migraine headaches and not feeling good and stuff. And there's nothing worse than being low in the middle of the night when you're asleep, because you wouldn't know anyway and stuff, most of the time. And so I've been having these lows and trying to adjust the insulin. It's going mezzo is the best I can say. We've been doing this 2 weeks. I think they're going to put me on another insulin, and I think we're going to kind of duke it out. Now the thing about this is I take really good records. I have to, because there's no way for my doctor to know how to adjust my insulin if my records are sloppy. So I take 7 to 8 blood sugars a day, which is really not normal for most diabetics and stuff. Most of us maybe take 3, 4, maybe 5 and stuff. People usually who are athletes and diabetics have to take more blood sugars and stuff like that. But for regular old folks, it's just about, maybe 3 or 4 or 5. I'm taking 7 to 8. One before I eat and an hour after I eat and stuff. And then, maybe 2 at night, one before bedtime, and then while I'm kind of sitting up and maybe something might be happening, I'll take another one and stuff, and so to keep those accurate records and to make sure that my blood sugars are okay and everything is fine, I do that. My doctor needs that information and stuff. And every Monday I send them in my sheet of all my information, and I let them know. I send in also my information regarding my blood pressure. Now my blood pressure is fantastic, right now, and I'm really pleased with how my blood pressure is turning out. I'm really thankful, because that's just one less thing for me to have to worry about. And so now I'm just sort of trying to figure out the insulin part. Now, I don't get too freaked out, because the best thing about babies is, well, that thing that's growing around the baby, the placenta, is another organ. And what it does is it will level off my high blood sugars for the baby. It just does it and stuff. So if I'm at 320, it'll level it off. Now, if I'm at 320 all the time, there's just so much leveling it can do, and it can't do anymore. But hey, every once in a while, having a high blood sugar is not going to do anything. And so it's something that I don't have to be all freaked out about if I have a high blood sugar. Now, I don't want a lot of them, and stuff, and I try not to have a lot of them. Doesn't mean it always works, but I try not to have a lot of them and stuff. But the placenta is protecting my baby, making sure that, it gets just what it needs, and it's all leveled out and averaged out for the baby and stuff. So I'm feeling better. I'm feeling okay and stuff. You can't sort of help but be nervous. And I know anybody that's a mommy or becoming a mommy knows that you can't sort of help but be nervous, especially if you have a chronic disease. You can't sort of help but be nervous about what's going on. But I really try to stay calm and stuff about that. Now, so far, everything else is going great. Do I look pregnant? At this point, no, I don't. I just look like I just still got my same sort of poochy belly and stuff that I've always had and stuff. So no, I don't look pregnant. I figure, I hear about 2, 3 months I'll start to look more pregnant and stuff. But right now, I don't look pregnant. My hair is growing like a weed, as you may have noticed. It's growing really fast and stuff. And in a few weeks, in about a month here, I'm going to get some braids, because I don't like, this is not time for me to have to worry about stuff like hair, okay, and stuff. And so that'll be another thing off my plate. I'm getting rid of my fingernails, which I'm not happy about, but I'm going to need to do that anyway. So I'm going to take my fingernails off and just go back to my natural nails, maybe shellac them so they'll have some polish on them and it'll stay and everything. But I'm going back to my natural nails, which I have not had in 20 years. Now, these are my fingernails. My nails are under this acrylic. These are my nails. They're this long and stuff. But I'm probably going to end up cutting them all off to get all the acrylic off, so they're going to go back to short. But my nails grow really fast. They've always grown really fast and stuff, So I'm going to get rid of my nails. And so far, so good. I'm not gaining a bunch of weight, and I can't really gain a bunch of weight, because I'm not little and stuff. So I only have so much weight that I can gain or am allowed to gain as the time progresses and stuff, And so I'll do this stuff. I'm still very tired and wore out and just all kinds of stuff, and as today is Martin Luther King Day. It's also the president's second, it's his second term inauguration day and stuff, and so it's a wonderful day. This is really a wonderful day to celebrate. I'm a history major from college, so I like to watch history happening, but I like the perspective on history and stuff as it goes along, and to think about Martin Luther King and his dream and the thoughts that what he wanted to see for people in this country. I'm glad to be a part of that dream. I am having a baby, and with a white man, and we'll have this child. There was a time when we couldn't do this. This wasn't okay, and there were places it was illegal, and even if it wasn't illegal in the place you were at, it was certainly frowned upon and stuff. And so it's really nice to live in this world, and stuff. It's certainly not what it should be and stuff. It's certainly not, and the hopes is that by the time this child gets old, that it'll be different. It'll be a different world, But I know the perspective on the world is different for my nieces and nephews and all the stuff that they can do and stuff, and all the sort of opportunities and great stuff that they have and stuff, which is really nice. And I'm, always excited for them and their lives and stuff. And so I'm really excited about this. This is a great day to, certainly have an inauguration and everything. And it's an important day as part of Martin Luther King's holiday, his holiday. And I am, I'm a history buff from long back, particularly American history. As short a time as this country has existed as a country, it has a very diverse history and stuff, which I always find fascinating. And I think part of that too is just because so many people sort of came together, and you just sort of had some stuff go on and everything. And so it's really awesome to be a part of, kind of what Dr. King had dreamed of, for this country and for everyone and stuff. So I'm excited. Everything's going pretty well with the pregnancy, just trying to get the insulin stuff straight. And I just, kind of update, and sort of tell you what it's like to have this happen. I am not really as nervous as people would think I would be because I'm 40 and having a baby. I'm not. I'm mostly nervous about the type 1 diabetes. That's kind of it, and stuff. So that's sort of my focus and everything. Although, this would be high risk because I was older. It's that part of the high risk is not even a consideration as it is because I am a type 1 diabetic. So far, so good. I am very happy. And we talk a lot about the baby and what we're going to do. I've just bought some blankets, some receiving blankets, not too long ago. I have them somewhere here in the house, with some little yellow duckies on it and stuff. And tomorrow we're having a, first kind of sonogram to see if the baby is okay and growing okay and all this stuff. And that's sort of my first thing I'm doing. So I'm really excited about that. And trying not to get too out of sorts. I think we'll be more in the mode of buying and doing once we move, which will be in a couple of months and everything. And so I'll be really excited about doing that too and everything. So, but so far I'm doing good, feeling good. Baby's doing good, and we're gonna get the insulin stuff straight. I'm more than more than more than um, happy and more than confident in the team that I'm working with. And it's a team that I'm working with to have this baby and stuff. So we're gonna be fine. So until next week, I'm coming back and I'll tell you some more, and I'll tell you a little bit about the sonogram and kind of what happened there and everything, and and all that sort of stuff. But until then, you all have a good day. Happy Martin Luther King Day, and I will talk to you later.